Shalom, Erev Shabbat Kodesh, the last Parsha of the year, Parshat Nitzavim. And today, we're out by the spring here in the Judean hills. And as usual, this time of year, you hear the same kind of arguments. It's true all year long. Every holiday or every festival where something controversial comes along, people are arguing about it year after year. And the only ones you hear at Rosh Hashanah time is, why do you go to Uman? Why do you go to the graves of the tzaddik? Why do you make all that effort? Why can't you just talk to God? And now this is a custom that has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. But let's say that doesn't give it enough credence, the practice itself. Let's say that doesn't impress me. Okay. Why do we go to the graves of the righteous? Why do I need them? Can I just talk to God? And of course, the simple answer is yes, you can just talk to God. Any day, all day, wherever you want, almost. There's a few places we don't talk to God. The unclean places, as we call them. But why do we need it anyways? Well, let's say I can't pray. Well, does a man that's been dead for hundreds of years, does he pray for me? Do I believe in that? Do I believe his soul is hovering around the grave while thousands of people converge on the place that he chose to leave the world from? Is there really a trace of the soul left behind in every Jewish soul? There are so many questions that challenge our belief system that it's either like, okay, enough, I'll take it, I'll buy the package deal, or I can't take these Orthodox Jews, they're crazy. I felt that way once. I said, are you kidding? I have to go all the way to Russia. I got to go to the Ukraine to visit one righteous man. There are many righteous men, and I learned his books, and I said, this guy's a special guy. Rabbi Nachman is a special guy, and he said, be with me on Rosh Hashanah. Now, I went 22 years in a row, and the last few years I haven't been going. I go to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. It's a little easier for a lot of reasons. But nonetheless, most of the teachings that Rabbi Nachman absorbed and became who he became was because of the teachings of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and the Arizal and Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem Tov. But nonetheless, why do we go there? Well, we have to understand the structure of the world a little bit. The Zohar Hadash says that the world is structured like an onion, layer after layer after layer after layer, but infinite layers. It is a cosmic onion. Okay, and at the center of the onion is the infinite light, and at the farthest reaches is the opposite of holy, the unholy lights. And we live in this continuum between the holy and the unholy. And not only do we live in that continuum between the good and the evil, we travel along it, depending on what we do, and what we say, and what we feel. And so we live in this continuum between the good and the evil, the holy and the unholy. And I am where I am, whoever I am, and I'm calling in one direction. I'm calling that way down the highway. I'm calling to the infinite creator of creation, who I believe can help me. I really believe he can help me. And I'm not sure how much else can help me. But there's a lot of layers of the onion between me and him. And he's got a lot of petitions, right? Billions of people are praying all the time in all kinds of places. And these layers of the onion are actually psychic filters between our lower selves and the spark of God in our upper self. So, in a sense, the journey is through my own filters to get to the infinite light. But let's say I'm trapped. Let's say I've got problems. Let's say I've done things that I haven't fixed yet. What do I do? Well, what Judaism teaches, go to the righteous. Speak to the wise man, and he will bring atonement, King Solomon says. Why? Because he's closer in the onion. He's received more light. His filter is cleaner. His channel is stronger. Now, it's not like I'm going to him to pray to him, God forbid. I'm going to him because I trust that his light can somehow open up a greater channel to the really big light. So when we talk about this, it's really absurd to hear people talking about this argument because it's like little fish talking about a big fish. But a tzaddik is not just a big fish and we're little fish. No, we're little fish and the tzaddik is like a giant whale in the ocean that takes care of everything he can, or that he channels all the powers through him because his filter is clean and his heart is pure and his mind is aligned through the learning of Torah for decades after decades after decades. And this holds true whether the person is in his body or not. Now, this is another point of belief. If I don't believe that, if I don't believe in the afterlife, if I don't believe my soul has something of the infinite in it, okay, then I'm in a different place. But if I have a belief in that, or even a doubt about it, or question, or I'm open to seeing something different, then I'm beginning to create a kli, a vessel, to receive something greater. Until I ask the question, I have no vessel to receive the answer. And if I'm afraid of the answer, then I'm not going to ask the question. And this is what you see over and over. Many spiritual people, they'll get to a certain point in their journey, and they'll say, okay, it's enough for me. I'm going to go get a job. As if the two are, incongruous, to have a job and also to seek the service of the infinite being. So when we go to the righteous, we're going to a channel, a portal that's already been opened through time and space to above time and space. Because all blessing is coming from above time and space. And I just need to attach to somebody who's gotten further through the tunnel. And I have trust that he can take me along. And he can pull me through. And he can bring down one drop of light that I can't get on my own. Now, maybe in the future I will be able to. Maybe in the future all of us will. As the famous verse says, Ki lo ro'ot ikanef od morecha. You won't hang on to your teacher's garment anymore. Right? Because every soul will know ro'e morecha. You will see your true God. You will see your true teacher, which is your own spark of God within. So I've got to do the work now to get to that level. And so when we go to the righteous Erev Rosh Hashanah, and you can go to any righteous grave, anywhere, and connect, because the divine presence is the same divine presence wherever you go. The only difference is the filter that we bring to the light. And wherever you go on Rosh Hashanah, well, we're actually visiting the lawyer's office, If you've ever had that before, you got to go to court, you got to go to the lawyer, right? Because the lawyer knows how to talk to the king, to the judge. And Rosh Hashanah is called Yom Hadin. And we are preparing ourselves for the best outcome. But we also have to know we have to do the work. And doing the work, of course, is feeling what we need to feel, changing what we need to change, thinking the thoughts that we really know are true, and not allowing the world to blind us anymore. So Shabbat is almost here in Eretz Israel, and I bless all of you with a holy, peaceful, happy Shabbat, a Shabbat where you can contemplate your own place in the onion, in that cosmic psychic onion that we're traveling through. And when you understand this structure, it's a lot easier to travel through it. But when I don't know it's there, and I don't know that this is the journey is always within. The journey is always through the layers of my own thinking to get to pure thought itself. When you make that journey, you're going to be surprised how close Hashem really was to you all along. So God bless you. Hopefully we'll talk again on Facebook or YouTube or Patreon or wherever site is happening at the time before Rosh Hashanah. And also, of course, after the holiday, we'll be back on with our daily classes, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. And may you all go with strength and courage and confidence and humility before the great King of the universe. Shabbat Shalom.